I didn't know that they could get this big. Like, this little method is the best method for me. I thought it was growing so well, and I was so wrong. Hello friends, and welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be sharing with you my favorite plants from September. I really struggled picking favorites out this month. I feel like, I mean, if you've watched my updates video, there have been so many things like that I've been dealing with pests on, whether it be flat mites or spider mites or thrips. I feel like a lot of my collection right now hasn't been growing as I would want it to, aka pest free. And so I've really been struggling with that, and picking favorites felt really difficult because there hasn't been that many plants within my collection that have just been growing steadily. And so I really struggled picking out my top plants this month. But I did pick some. I found some that I'm like really pleased with, like that are growing really well despite the adversity that they are facing in my pesty household at the minute. But yeah, I found a few, 7 to chat about today, and I wanted to share them with you because hopefully you can hype me up about them and make me feel a little bit better that I'm not just like slowly failing in my plant care journey by having like a bajillion pests and killing plants, etc. Oh, sometimes I do feel like a bad plant parent, but such is life. This is the circle of life. It happens. I need to remind myself that everything's okay and I shouldn't be as harsh on myself. But anyways, that is not what this video is about. This video is going to be a happy one. I'm going to be excited about this. Before I get into them, I just want to say, if you're new here and you don't know me already, hi, my name is Emma and I make houseplanting content all over the internet. So if you want to follow along with my houseplanting journey and maybe learn something along the way, stick around, watch some more of my videos, and subscribe to my channel. If you're not new here, thanks for coming back. I really hope you appreciate it. No, I really appreciate it. I hope you appreciate it, but I appreciate you being here again. You think I would have that down by now, but apparently not. Yeah, let's look at some freaking nice plants. Let's do that. The first one that I want to talk about is actually a new plant that I have not shared on here at all. But the story behind this one is, at the Birmingham plant swap, I saw some plant cuttings that I was like super duper keen on. They were these like really big Hoya Pubicalyx leaves, and if y'all know me, you know I like a splashy Hoya. And I like spoke to the person who had them and stuff, but I didn't bring anything to swap to the Birmingham swap. I didn't want to carry extra stuff. I had so much to bring up anyway. I didn't have room for plants. And so I didn't end up swapping with her because I didn't have anything to swap with. But she was like, we can chat and I can send some out to you. I would absolutely love to send some to you. One, she sent me a freaking huge box full of like tons of other plants that I wasn't expecting. But the thing I think that I'm most excited about in here is the biggest Hoya Pubicalyx leaves that I have ever seen in my entire, This leaf is literally the length of my head. It is huge, and the splashiness on them is incredible. I am obsessed with these cuttings. Like, I just can't believe that it is the size of my head. I didn't know that they could get this big. And like when I opened the box, this like stuck out to me so much because they're just freaking huge, and I just cannot believe how amazingly beautiful they are. Like, even the like small leaves on here are big. I just like can't believe it, and I am so freaking excited that they exist in my home, that I own them now. And I feel like I've really wanted the proper Pubicalyx splash, the super duper silvery one like this, for a while now anyways. Ooh, oh, I dropped some moss. Okay. I was scared that a leaf just fell off. It was just a bit of moss. But I've wanted the proper splashy one for a while now, and I've not gotten one. And now I have one, and it's freaking huge. cannot believe it. I just hope that I can get it to grow as well and big in my home. I should chat to the woman who sent them to me about the sort of like conditions that they were in that let them get this big, because if I can continue them this big, I think I might die, in a good way. But yeah, I'm just like beyond excited about this plant right now. And it's like the newest thing in my collection that I'm just like, yes, 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 yes. And I just really wanted to share that one with you. And it's not lived in my home long enough to have pests, so it's fine. Next, I want to share this. I know this was also in another recent favorites video when this leaf came out. This is my Scindapsus Tricolor that I got for my birthday last year, that basically didn't do much for ages and lost its main leaves, and I've just been slowly rooting it again and getting it to grow. But it finally put out like a proper sized leaf where you can really see the tricoloriness on it. Oh my god, I could stare at this all day. This was a wish list plant for me, and I can't believe my friends got me one in the first place. And so now that it's actually, like, I feel like I actually own this plant now. Because for such a long time I didn't feel like I owned this plant. I felt like I owned a cup of dirt. But now I own it. And it's so pretty. And I just really hope that I can get it to grow as well as my other Scindapsus. If I can get it to like trail and vine. I think I prefer Scindapsus trailing to climbing. I have a few on poles and I don't like them as much on poles. I feel like they just don't work for me in my home on poles. I much rather have them trail down. I really like having, maybe you can't see them, they're up there. Yeah, I must have trailed them back up. But I really like having cool Scindapsus just like trailing down. Even if it's just one long trail, I love it. I think they look so beautiful like that. And I just hope that I can get this one to get to that point. Right now it is living in my IKEA greenhouse cabinet, the Millsbow, not this one, the one in the other room. And that does mean that it is in a place with flat mites, but because I'm treating everything in this zone, it's getting treated as well. And I don't think this one itself had flat mites. And I think this new leaf has come in since. And I literally don't see anything. Even though they're tiny, I know what they look like now, so I can like spot them with my naked eyes. But yeah, this one doesn't have any on it as far as I know, but it's getting treated with the rest, and sulfur is a good fertilizer, so if it helps, it helps. But I'm just so chuffed that this one's like finally actually doing something. Next up is my Lepismium Bolivianum. I am so excited by the amount of growth that this one has given me. It is a fairly new plant to me in my collection, and essentially all of these tiny little bits off here and even like down through here, those are all new. They're all new. And so it is just doing so amazingly for me. Ooh, that's a thrip, okay. I thought it was doing amazingly for me. Maybe this isn't one of my favorites anymore. Give me one sec while I check this over for more thrips. It does live in my window, so like I totally get if it's got a thrip on it from the outside. Oh my goodness, now I'm scared. Oh, it totally does have thrips. Oh, that is so freaking annoying. Okay, well, it's still growing amazingly considering it has thrips on it. Oh my goodness, okay. I'm really frustrated by this. I thought it was growing so well. And I was so wrong. Oh, okay. I'm gonna wash my hands really quick and cry. Oh, that's really freaking annoying. Okay. Well, that didn't go how I expected, and I'm kind of annoyed about that, but it's fine. I'll deal with it. I'm still really excited about all the growth on that plant. I'm just frustrated now that I've got like what seems like a different strand of thrips, which might also explain what was going on with my Standeliana. Okay, well, this is fun. Carrying on. Let's get excited about something else. Let's get excited about this because this is really freaking exciting. And I have washed my hands, so don't worry. My Monstera Constellation put out this amazing leaf. Yay! And I swear it's the first new leaf in months. Years, maybe even. This one has basically not done anything for the longest freaking time. And so I kind of not gave up on it, but I was like, okay, maybe I'll need to like chop it and let it start over. I'm so glad I didn't because it put out this beautiful thing. And it is really great because some of the leaves before it, like they're big and beautiful, but they didn't have any sort of fenestrations on them. I don't know how much you can see, but this one has a lot of fenestrations considering that it is its 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6th leaf. So I'm really pleased that I have this one, and this new leaf is beautiful. I don't even care that there's like a little bit of damage here. It is perfect in my mind, and like I love the variegation on it. It's like so speckly and like very constellation-y. I did have a piece here that was like very much sectoral variegation, and I had to cut it off because it went a little bit brown, which is completely normal. But this, I just know that this is safe and stable and will be absolutely fine. And it is just so freaking exciting that I finally got another leaf on this one. I'm hoping that I can continue its growth. I know we're going into autumn and winter now, so it's quite possible that it'll slow down and potentially stop for the summer. But the fact that I got a single leaf like means so much for me on this plant. Oh, there's an ant on it. Y'all know I've got ant problems in my home. Joy. It's just so pretty and nice, and like this is one of my favorite monsteras of all time, and so it feels great that it's actually doing something again rather than just like sitting doing nothing, which it was doing for quite a long time. So I am immensely pleased with this one, and I am just so glad that it's actually growing again. Hopefully. I don't know if it'll grow another one. Maybe. I'm gonna keep fertilizing it, so hopefully it will. But yeah, it's just a happy little camper doing its happy little camper thing. Next up, I have this pair of things in here. My little frickin' peperomias have grown, and I am so excited about it. So this one is the freckles, and I lost its like main leaf on it. It like once it rooted and sprouted, it moved on, which is absolutely fine and normal, but I do have the tiniest little sprout in here, which is freaking cute, and the variegation on it is also really good. I don't know how well you can see it. Probably well enough, but there is like a lot of little variegation on there, which is so exciting. Like this little method is the best method for me and peperomias. Like put them in a no drainage container with some soil and cling film it so it's nice and sealed, and it will do wonders in my experience. That's the only way I've been able to get peperomia like this to grow. This is the second one, which I've actually not taken out of here ever. I think this one's the something pink. But it came as a single stem cutting, and it did have roots on it, which is great. But this is like a pinkier one, which has gone a little bit dimmer in the time, but it's also put up some new growth in there, and it's so freaking exciting. This one doesn't have no drainage technically, but it is in a sealed cup. I should probably water it. It does need it. I haven't watered it since I was in Scotland, which was like May time, I think. So it has been a while, and it's just doing so well, and I'm so excited that these these little ones are finally freaking doing something and actually working. I feel like I'm getting like a proper grasp on Peperomia now, because for the longest time I didn't have a freaking clue with them. And there are still things I'm learning with them, but the fact that I'm able to propagate them means so much for me, and I'm like really just insanely glad that I've been able to get them to grow. It's just so exciting. It makes me like giddy that I'm able to grow these, because I was never able to grow them before. So very exciting. I'm not going to close this up all the way because I do need to water it, but there's that. So I have 2 more very exciting things, and this is one of them. Look at my Hoya Clemensiorum. The new leaves on these are so freaking cute. I have been looking at them every single day, checking on them, making sure that they are growing well, and they are. And it has been so fun watching them size up from nothingness basically. And they do have a little bit of splashiness on them as well, which is exciting. So I am just thrilled by these, and I'm hoping that they grow as big as these ones, if not bigger. And like, I'm glad that I was able to like actually revive this plant, because I was quite nervous that I was going to lose this one initially when I got it, and like the roots just basically were non-existent. And so since I've been able to root them, oh my goodness, it's got tons of roots in there. Like they're coming out the bottom even. So it is a very happy camper now, which is so exciting, and it feels like I'm finally doing something right with it, which does feel good, because sometimes like with these sort of import plants it feels a bit scary getting them in, because you're like, oh, like I've got to acclimate them, and that's a difficult process. And for some Hoyas, I have had Hoyas that just like didn't pass that acclimation process, and so the fact that these have is just really exciting for me, and I am very glad that we have gotten to this point with them. So yeah, my little Hoya Clemensiorums. And then last but not least, and probably the biggest plant I have in this little video, the tallest at the very least, is my Monstera Dubia. This thing has been growing incredibly, like so phenomenally for me. It has been putting out a new leaf like every, like maybe once a week or something at this point. Like you can see this leaf isn't even hardened off yet, and it's already out with this next one. And it has been growing so rapidly up this pole. I've had to fill up the pole, like here, so often, and it's gonna get to the top so soon that I'm going to need to do something about it. But that's easily done. I am just so glad that I actually finally feel like I have this plant, because I had one that I was growing from cuttings for ages, and I still have it in my cabinet, and that one is also doing really well. But this one, like ever since I got it on the moss pole, it has been absolutely loving life and just thriving and sizing up. Like, look at the size up on that. From that size, I mean, that's not even the bottom. The bottom's actually looking pretty good. But then there's a bit of like trial and error learning on this part of the pole. And then the top goes from those small sort of leaves up to these ones. And it's just growing so fast. I'm impressed by this one on a daily basis, looking to see how it's growing, how it's doing, how the new leaves are coming in. And I am desperately going to need to put more moss in this pole. And so I will do that, and it's just doing so well, and I am so pleased that I've actually been able to like figure this one out, because I was struggling with dubias in general for quite a long time. I feel like the answer kind of is just buying a plant, like buy the plant of it rather than get it from cuttings, because for years I was struggling with cuttings and like them not working and dying off. But as a plant, if you buy it as a plant, it's so much easier to grow. So yeah, I am not excited to one day having to propagate this one, because I don't know how to do it and it stresses me out. But hopefully, because it's in such a good like moss pole system, it's probably got lots of really great roots in here, and it's shingling nicely as well. So yeah, that is my Monstera Dubia. those are the main plants right now that are giving me joy and some minor stress with finding a different sort of thrips that I've never seen before, and I'm really not looking forward to dealing with and treating in a room that I thought was pest free that apparently isn't, and I need to sort out now because they look incredibly angry as thrips. Besides that, everything's going great on these few plants. Before I go, I want to say a huge thank you to the newest member of my Good Growing fam over on Patreon, Rachel, aka Scent of Water on Instagram. Thank you so much for joining. I really hope you're enjoying seeing all my content over there, and I hope to meet you in a live chat soon. And yeah, thanks for joining. If anyone else is interested in joining my Patreon, it is £3 or $4 or euros a month, and that's the same for everybody. You get everything included in that: bonus content, videos, polls, like insider exclusive early stuff, as well as live chats with me each month. So if you're interested in any of that, head over to my Patreon. It's linked below in the description. If you're not, that's absolutely fine, no problem. It just helps me out a little bit. So yeah, the rest of you, thank you so much for watching this video. If you like it, please give it a thumbs up down below and leave a comment on other houseplanty things you'd like me to talk about in the future, as well as your favorite plants at the minute. I want some happiness and joy that I can experience secondhand through you. So please, like, share the happy stories that are going on in your collection and subscribe for more. Also, don't forget to keep growing. I will see you next time. Bye!